Authors Press. Hello everyone, my name is Gab Megan and I'm from Authors Press. Today is March 29th, 2024. Welcome to another fantastic virtual interview where I am gathered here today with Theresa Grant, the author of A Fateful Choice. Hi Theresa, can you tell us about
Hi.
yourself and what inspired you to write A Fateful Choice?
Well, I was born and raised in a small town, Mobile, Alabama, which is a southern town. And I am the eldest of three sisters and two brothers. And my father's mother was Cherokee Indian, and his father was Irish. And my mother's mother was Choctaw Indian, and her father was from England. So when I was a senior in high school, I wanted to become a writer, not just any writer. I wanted to write romance. My parents objected and told me to choose a career, graduate, get a job, and take care of myself for the rest of my life. In Mobile, there were not many careers to choose from. You could either be a nurse, a doctor, or a teacher. And I didn't want to be either one. Uh, but I had to choose nursing. And after finishing, I got a job at our local hospital and worked for 2 years before I met my husband, married my husband, who earned a degree in chemistry and was offered a job at the National Bureau of Standards in Maryland as a chemist. And so then we moved to Washington, D.C. And I decided that I wanted to be a dental hygienist. And I enrolled in the School of Dental Hygiene at Howard University. I did that. I enrolled in 1960. And I should have finished in 1963, but I became pregnant. And so my sister, Gloria, came to live with us so she could keep my baby and so that I could finish dental hygiene. And I finished in 1964. And we moved to Maryland when my children became school aged. And I had time to write while they were in school. I wanted to make my dream of writing a reality. I would write every night after everyone had gone to bed. And I would, my first book that I published, it was Hope and Desire. And after I finished that, it was it was published by Publish America. And after I finished that book, I would write another one and, until I finished the next book. So every let's see, the books that I had finished was Hope and Desire, To Love Again, Destiny of the Wolf, Love, Passion, and Hate, The Adventures of Robbie Robot and Race Moonwalker, and The Sacrifice. And I chose to write A Fateful Choice because we had a neighbor next door to us who was going through the same thing that Dolores was, the character in my book. And so I took a lot from that. And the theme that I had on this, A Fateful Choice, was of women in their relationships, women going back to school after marriage, raising children alone, getting a job to further their career, and learning how to survive in a male-dominated world. And that's the person that lived next to us was going through the same thing that the character in my book was going through. And she would discuss it with my mother when I was small. I would listen. And so I sort of like patterned that after what she had gone through. When I was writing this book, well, before that, I had to leave my home the same as this woman did because my father left, and that who was married to my mother, and because of that, she married again, and so my stepfather were making advances towards me. He would come into my room after everybody had gone to sleep and tried to kiss me. And I told my mother, and she didn't believe me. She whipped me with a belt and said that I was lying. And so I had to leave. And when I left, I met Sonny Brown, a big playboy, and he took me home to live with him and his aunt Virginia, who was a dope addict. Well, I didn't get along with Virginia. Virginia was always trying to fight me. And she came home one day and she discovered Sonny and I in bed. And so she made us get married. And so then I get pregnant, and I told Sonny, because we didn't get along, we should move out and get a home of our own. But he refused. He said he couldn't leave his aunt. He had to stay with her. And he chose his aunt over me and my child. And that is why it's called uh, a fateful choice, because he chose her and not me as his wife to move out. And so I said, well, if you're not man enough to do what you're supposed to do, to take care of your wife and your child, then I'd get a job and do it for you. And so I got a job, and it was at a hotel, and I was working as a maid, and trying to make it on my own and trying to stay there because I believed, well, Dolores believed what Sonny was telling her, that he loved her and what he was going to do for her. But he chose his aunt over her. And that's why I suggested the title A Faithful Choice.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Okay. What is a faithful choice about, and what message or theme did you aim to convey through the story?
A Faithful Choice, I think, depicts a woman's journey through her complicated life after she is forced to leave her home because of her stepfather's advancement. And after she meets Sonny, uh, she thought that she had it made, that she believed him and what he said, and about loving her and caring for her and the child. But that didn't that didn't happen. He was doing things for himself, and mostly things that Dolores did not like, and that is why I called it A Fateful Choice.
Very inspiring. Can you share with us the main character Dolores's journey in the book and the challenges she faces in her pursuit of love and happiness?
Dolores, uh, I tried to make the message a theme to aim to convey through the story. Uh, I don't know if I said this, but women in their relationships, women going back to school after marriage, raising children alone, and getting a job to further their careers, and learning how to survive in a male dominated world. And this is what Dolores was doing.
Very beautiful. Thank you. How did you develop the characters in A Faithful Choice, and are they inspired by real people or experiences in your life?
There were neighbors, I think I said before, that lived next to us when I was growing up. And they went through the same thing that Dolores is going through, and she would talk to my mother about it, and I would listen and to her complaints. And I thought that I would write a book similar to what she was going through.
Beautiful. What was the most challenging part of writing this book, and how did you overcome any obstacles or struggles during the writing process?
I said, trust, confidence, and action you experience growing up with your family um, seems to help you um, as you go along and develop. And that's what happened to me in my family and in my beliefs and I have faith uh, in God and believe that He would whatever experiences
Very
that
beautiful.
He can.
Thank you. The title, A Faithful Choice, suggests the importance of making decisions based on faith. Can you elaborate on the significance of faith in the story and in your own life?
So Dolores had complete faith and confidence in Sonny until he let her down by not doing all that he could to take care of her and his child, and can only come from a new heart regenerated by God, I think. And faith is a gift from God, and faith is the light when the dawn is dark. And in my life, I have faith that what God's will do what He says He will do for me.
That's very inspiring. What do you hope readers will take away from reading A Faithful Choice, and how do you think the book can impact or inspire them?
Do not give up on your dreams. Keep trying. With every painful hit life hands us, we adjust and grow. With each problem, we change our perspective, our methods of coping, and we find new means to reach our goals.
Thank you. As an author, what do you see as the role of storytelling in addressing social issues and promoting empathy and understanding among readers?
A book is a slice of life, and real life characters react in the same way as real life people. Your character will never be the same as they were at the beginning of the story. Their story lives force them to change and grow.
Looking back on your journey of writing A Faithful Choice, what advice would you give to aspiring authors who are facing challenges in bringing their own stories to life?
I said, read everything, anything that perks your interest, especially in the category in which you want to write. Reading is the first love, and then writing comes naturally. Reading will keep your mind active, keep your interest in writing, and help you learn to recognize and fix your mistakes.
Very important to know. Thank you. Where can we purchase your book?
You can get it from Amazon.com. They published all of my books when I was writing them. So all of those books you can get from Amazon.com.
Thank you. How was your experience working with Authors Press?
It was great. I had a lot of help from Miss Alvy White, and I had a lot of support. She gives me a lot of support when she talks to me, and I think it was great.
Thank you for that wonderful feedback. That's all the questions I have for you today. Thank you so much for meeting with me today and discussing your book. It's been very pleasant speaking with you. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to Authors Press either via email or phone number, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. This has
Thank you.
been Theresa Grant and Gab Megan. Thank you for tuning in.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. Authors Press.